So, welcome everybody. It's another day on this your favorite podcast, POK Experience. I have with me another man, another general, and today we'll be discussing business. Don't mind me.
Yeah,
Yeah, of course, I always tell you we have a lot of things to discuss at times. Sometimes it's just strictly self development. Of course, we'll be going straight to it now. I'm with me, Nenji Emmanuel. Nenji Alpha, how you doing?
yeah, I'm fine. I'm happy to be on your podcast. I think I consider it a privilege. I didn't expect that, I would come here
Yeah,
this time. But thanks for bringing me on.
honestly, I of course, POK experiences. It's just more like me talking to people that I've worked with, people that I've listened to, people that I've read about,
Yeah,
people that I've been in the same space with, so that we just we'll have conversations. And the only criteria I always set for bringing people here is this person valuable, and then do their values align with the values I'm trying to propagate? You know, I'm not. There are some things I decided not to do. For example, bringing somebody that do not align with the values.
yeah,
Say somebody that's on TikTok getting naked and all, saying controversial things like, "Oh, if a man does not send me 5K, if a man cannot give me 1 million, I cannot go to his house." Those things, being in marketing and business, you know that those things are just
yeah,
controversial. They just do it intentionally. Yeah. But I decided I won't do that. I won't bring such people to my podcast. So
yeah.
welcome again.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Let's get straight to it. Let's get straight to it. You know, trying to sell to Nigerians abroad. Either you are in Nigeria and you are based in Nigeria, or you are a Nigerian and you're in the diaspora, UK, US, Canada. Uh, I've worked with you with a client that that sell to Nigerians abroad. I've,
Uh,
not just one, not just two. We've worked together. We have new work.
yeah,
We have a lot in common. But
yeah.
I don't know what are mistakes you think they often make. Let's start from mistakes before we get to other things.
Businesses, who sell to Nigerians, like, they make a lot of mistakes, right? You know, like many mistakes, but I'm just going to point out a few of the mistakes that, I have observed, right? One is that a lot of times, some of these businesses, they don't pay attention to customer service. Like, they,
Mm-hmm.
they, they, they don't, you know, they don't try to maintain that trust. you know they are not so reliable sometimes, but of course there are businesses who are trying in customer service and all of that. One thing I've discovered with Nigerians is the fact that Nigerians are so sensitive, to the issue of trust and reliability. And that's because if I was speaking to in a client in Scotland, just a prospect, and then I was telling him, you know, um, about what I've done with another brand, and then he was like, ah, he has shopped with that brand, and the experience was so bad. Like, I was so disappointed. I was like, okay, why did I even you know, mention?
Yeah.
Yeah, so Nigerians are so sensitive with when it comes to the issue of trust. So it's always good that we are all transparent. When you say you're selling you, you know you're selling good yams. You should not send bad yams, you know, to your customers. You know
Mm-hmm.
that way you're going to build you're going to build a loyal customer base. That would always speak about you. because people are very quick to speak positively or negatively about you. You know, when they have a bad experience, you know, they are going to speak negatively about you. And when they have a positive experience, they are going to speak positively about you. So for me, that's one thing that one mistakes I've seen a lot of brands make. Yeah, and secondly, um, I've also noticed that when it comes to marketing, um, Nigerians are um, when we're trying to when we're trying to market stuff to people, I noticed that you know we don't we don't we don't infuse our culture. Like we feel like, okay, we should speak English, and the market to these people. Like we don't integrate you know um our culture when it comes to marketing. I've seen that a lot. We just want to be all that foreign. You know and I realized that me in Nigeria as the diaspora, they have very strong ties, you know, with their
Yeah,
cultural heritage. They have very strong ties with their cultural heritage.
people are
Um,
dying. These people are dying to see the culture over there.
yes, yes,
They,
and
they miss it.
yeah. So there's this book I read, The Villager by
Yeah,
um Feyi Olubodun. So he's a market researcher, and um he has he has done work with a lot of multinational. He has an advertising agency, and that he has done a lot of advertisements with Coca-Cola, with Nestle, most of those you know
big brand.
those big brands that you see their ads, Airtel, all of these guys, you know, is it, some of them, some of them work with him, so he he has an in-depth understanding of the Nigerian, right? So he came up with a concept called the Nigeria is a villager, and basically, like every Nigerian is a villager. Like in Nigerian, in Nigeria, a Nigerian can leave Nigeria. He can leave, his body can leave Nigeria, but
The
his
Nigerian,
spirit, his 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 spirit and his soul is in Nigeria. Like people who are over there, we're in Nigeria right now, and
Mhm.
we think that, okay, those people, they've forgotten about Nigeria. And it's not true. They are always checking for updates. In Nigeria, a Nigerian would leave Nigeria, you know, but he has families, so he cannot leave his we operate a communal
Oh, yeah, kind of structure, family
yeah,
structure.
our family structure is communal. And
Yeah,
you know success to Nigeria is not um you know in the West they are more individualistic. Success is um success to them in like abroad. When you make your money. And hello, can you hear me?
yeah, I'm with you.
I noticed
I'm
you
with
went
you.
off. Okay, I noticed you went off. So I was just checking. Success to them is ah, you know, they go to school and get a job, you know, and access all of the financial instruments, you
Yeah,
know, loans and etc. But in Nigeria, like in Nigerian, success is how many people we have helped to. So that's
yeah.
why I see that we do not have, like we do not have um we do not have, how do I put this now? We do not
The
have,
thing you are
you want to say
explaining,
something?
yeah, this thing you are explaining is what happens with Igba Boy. Igba Boy is this uh this Igbo entrepreneurship structure of you serving a master for about 7 years, and then
Yeah,
they say to you after the whole thing. it's a structure that has brought a lot of millionaires. Like people have grown to become millionaires and successful business owners. And
Absolutely.
it's a structure that is being studied by Harvard. And you get. I love the
Yeah, it
structure.
is.
There was a day I put up a tweet on Twitter that the apprenticeship system of the Igbos is better than the one of Yorubas. And they want to slaughter me like people were tribalists and they wanted to see if there is if some Yorubas can get me that day, they will can't go. So it's crazy that day, because it's something I experienced both. I saw
Yeah.
the result of the Yoruba apprenticeship system. I saw it. I saw people I grew up with that went to being an apprentice with a carpenter, a welder, a furnisher, whatever, and then they will get out of that system, and they can't establish.
Mm.
So I've seen it. But I've seen that of the Igbos. So where I'm actually going to in line with what we were discussing is the fact that there was a time, Nisha, a guy, someone told me that the the respect that a particular master gets is
Mm.
directly proportional to how big the money, the amount he uses to settle his boys. So
Well,
yes, that if you are saying, I'm a rich man, and I'm a rich man, and you are
and you're
settling your boy
certainly one
with like
million.
5 million, yeah, 5 million, 2 million, and co. And somebody
Well,
you are saying you are a big man too, like you are bigger than or something like that. He's settling his own boys with 20 million naira. You are nothing. So you get. I'm trying to put out the perspective so you understand that, okay, in the Nigerian space, actually, success is more like after you've eaten, you are well fed and all. People wants to look at it. Okay, who are the people you built?
exactly. And also, if that's one of the reasons why you see that we do not have, like, our middle class um is shrinking, because Nigeria does not have a middle class, and the reason is because of our system, how we
Yeah,
operate. An average middle class, you know, person, you know, has like 8 people he's feeding. Like, literally, in a week, I get close to 10 to 15 requests.
financial request,
Average.
bro.
Yeah, yeah. And people don't care. Like, people don't care about. So when that's why I notice that most middle class people, they don't use an iPhone. If
Yeah,
you find them, someone is working for 20 years, and he's not even using. There's nothing to show for, because he has to please. You know,
a lot of
he
people.
has to he has to raise other people. So if, for example, so my dad was an Air Force personnel, and
Yeah,
then there was a time we went for a family event, and then and they didn't know I was his son. Yeah.
yeah.
So some people were talking, he was on the high table, and we were talking, um and they were saying that, well, some people on the side, they were just angry at my dad for some crazy reason. My dad is very philanthropic, and he's a good man, and they were just angry. They were like, "Ah, how many people he put for this Air Force? How many people did he put?" That meaning they are angry because, okay, he did not, so for me, I just understood that, okay, success to them is, and sometimes it's not like they even have the qualification.
To
I
get
remember
in, yeah, of course.
there was this guy, my dad was trying to, get into the Air Force, and the guy does not even have the SSC. How would they help you?
You get.
How can you be helped? So,
Yeah.
the point is, success to Nigerians, is you being able to lead to other people. So as in Nigeria, if you're 27 and you're driving the Benz, the police is gonna block you on the way.
I asked where you make the money from.
Yeah,
Crazy guy.
like how did you start driving Benz at
Yeah,
27? Don't you have
yeah.
family to feed? You know, but abroad, like if you're making um if you're making if you're abroad at 20, 21, you can be driving a Benz, you know.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. No,
Yeah, so
as Nigerians, that understanding is what they now take abroad. The way they get to the UK,
exactly,
they're looking for a community around them. They still want the food, they still want the culture, they still want the language, they still want,
exactly.
they still want to dress, they still want the kaftan and all. So when you are shying away from using those cultural references in your marketing, in your communications, you are
Exactly.
actually leaving money on the table. Let me tell you
Yeah,
that.
honestly. A lot
Let
of
me-
money on the table. You
yeah,
know. So your product or your service has to celebrate the Nigerian identity, our language, our tradition,
the Nigerian
you know.
identity. You have to
Yeah,
infuse.
yeah, go ahead.
You have to. I say you have to infuse the Nigerian identity into it. People, you don't shy away from these things. I
No,
saw
no,
Ashake is a very popular Nigerian artist now. Like big. There are
very
conversations.
big.
There are conversations around if Ashake is bigger than Burna Boy. Crazy, right? Because you
Hmm.
don't put these guys are Afrobeat artists and all of that, but they are Nigerian exports. They're one of the best
Yeah,
exporters of the country, aside our footballers. Then we have our musicians, and then maybe few Hollywood people. Then we now come
yeah,
to the tech talents that we're exporting. Then maybe the academias. Like I'm just talking about the exports we have. For Kuban, for example, their biggest export are their medical personnel. Kuban, for example,
that's right.
yeah. For Nigeria, I'm just talking about the personnel that we are exporting into the world. And Akaka is selling out shows. UK,
Hmm.
US, he's selling out. This guy sing in Yoruba. Yeah, he sings in Yoruba, like, and then he's selling out shows. Look at these guys, Burna Boy, Whiskey. They use Yoruba. They use the. So I think people appreciate them more because they feel they are original. So if Whiskey only uses,
Absolutely.
yes, if Whiskey only uses English, for example, the people over there might not appreciate it.
They wouldn't.
Yeah,
Because
because
uh, because
uh-huh.
the other guys, they speak more better English than the Burna Boy,
Yeah, you can't speak English like them. You can't be as good as them. Is
You
that
can't be as good as them. Yeah, you can't compete with them at that level.
yeah? Then you throw away your own thing, your own stuff, because you want to adapt theirs, and then you cannot be as good as them, and then you've already lost your own.
Yeah,
Easy. Talking about customer service though. Talking about
yeah,
that I was recording a short content today, and
yeah.
I'm going to talk about it here. Is there was a story in Power of Habit when Procter and Gamble P&G they made a home cleaning detergent, something like that they used to clean the home. It's called Febreze. So they were trying to market Febreze. So,
Okay.
but they observed that people, people will use Febreze to clean their home, but they will not come back to buy it. So
Mm,
they now observe that okay, they are not trying to sell that Febreze to somebody with 9 cats. Or somebody with 9 cats at home, the home will smell.
yeah,
But they said the woman was not ready to buy it. And it was like, your home smell. So they now got to understand that somebody that is living in a room with 9 cats is already used to the smell. They can't perceive it.
they can't
Unless
perceive it. And
yes, unless somebody's coming from outside. Just and then they will know. So they now observe that, oh, why people actually want cleaning agents is after cleaning their home, they want to feel something, they want to perceive that thing. They want to like, oh, this my home now smell nice.
smells
So
good.
yeah, so the cleaning agent freebies does not smell like it has no odor. It cleans your house very well, and then your house is now. Yeah. And I was like, okay, they have to put some fragrance into it and all of those things, and that's how they got to start selling. Same as a barber that gave me an example that he gets to retain his customer because the hair cream he applies to the beards of his customer smells so
Yeah,
good. Said it's very expensive. I was recording. I'm going to record release the shots very soon. He said it smells so good that when they get home, their wives are always like, "Husband, it smells so it smells so
Yeah,
good." It is not about how smooth the cut is or how nice the cut is. It's not
yeah,
about so it's not about how it makes them feel. So
yeah,
I'm going somewhere, and the place is that customer service that you spoke about earlier. I believe people should find, just like we're talking about communication. People should
yeah,
find a way to on how they can infuse the culture
yeah.
into their customer service. What happens after the sale is as important as
It's
what
what,
happened
absolutely
before.
before the sale. You know, a lot of times you put so much energy for what happened before the sale, and then after the sale, you move to the next customer, not knowing that um, the it's easier to to work with a customer who
Already bought from
who
you.
trusts you, and who is willing to reach out to other people. I was
Yeah.
about talking about word of mouth marketing, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to talk about it.
Yeah.
But Nigerians, they are tied need on word of mouth. See, if a Nigerian recommends you,
Before a Nigeria will recommend you, you have to have satisfied like they will have
yeah, yeah, because I got a recommendation, for a client, and you know the only normally the clients would never work with me, like I don't think the client would want to work with me, if I'd reached out myself, you know that word of mouth was it made me realize how powerful it is, like somebody, um somebody recommending and referring you, and that's the power of customer service. When you're able to build that trust, you can get even more recommendations.
that's it, oh, that's it.
That's it.
It,
Yeah.
it crazy. Another thing I'm kind of thinking about right now is that how how Nigerians abroad try to build their companies. I'm kind of reading about the richest guy in Texas is a Nigerian, one of the richest Nigerians, one of the richest Nigerian in Texas. The African in Texas is a Nigerian. Into oil and gas, I think. I've seen that we we take the workplace culture of Nigeria abroad.
Mm,
In Nigeria, for example, you see the boss to employee relationship. Oh, my boss asked me to do this. My boss asked me to do that. My boss asked me to, is the boss giving out instructions and then the employee executes, not the
yeah.
employee suggesting that, Oga, you can do this. So, Oga, we should, So the dynamics is different when it comes to working
The
for.
relationship, especially when
Yes,
working in Nigeria abroad. I don't know if it's a Nigerian thing, but Nigerians, when a Nigeria shows up, like they want their presence to be felt. Like I think it's a cultural thing, like when especially when if you notice, I don't know if uh, I've worked a little with a private company, and basically the private company, they they serve the government, right? That was in 2020. And if the MD shows up, you know that somebody arrived, And a lot of times they are not coming to they are not a lot of times when we have meetings, I just know in my head that they don't really want to hear your opinion, they, they
Mm,
want to
yeah.
they want to have conversation, but they already have what they want to do in mind.
What they want everybody to do.
Yeah,
So
and
they're not really.
that's not how you can build a a company that would stay 100 years. If you want to build like the likes of Steve Jobs, and the other guys, they have these they when they hire you, they hire you, to tell them what to do, not to receive instructions, and but
From there,
but it's just crazy, when you are looking at the Nigerian dynamic, they want to tell you what to do, and and sometimes it can be so frustrating. Recently I was working with, like, recently, my last job. We were having like a conversation about price comparison, like we having to compare price, because I observed that when you look at the other, our other competitors, our
of
prices were way higher, right? So I did a price comparison, you know,
mhm.
over 250 products, and 95% of our products were higher than, you know, our competitors. Then I now said, okay, I think we should review the prices. I was telling my Nigerian boss,
Mm.
I think we should review these prices, you know, and he said he's sure that that's not the problem. He said, I'm sure. He said that's not the problem. That people will still buy regardless of the price. Of course, people will still buy regardless of the price.
It
But
does not
I'm
matter.
pointing, I'm pointing out something. At least listen to me. Just hear me out.
Mhm. Data does not matter. Data does not matter.
It doesn't matter to them.
Yeah, data does
To
not matter.
some
And
of them, yeah. But
selling abroad, you need data. You need to be data
you need,
driven.
yeah,
That's
you
one
need,
of us. I think you might want to talk about, using data to make your decisions instead of feelings. I think
yeah,
a lot of people, you hired me as a digital marketing consultant, and I'm telling you that, look, this thing you are doing every Monday is not working.
mm,
That's not giving you your sale. You're arguing with me that, oh, you've been doing it since.
that will be doing this is,
The fact that you have been doing something since does not mean that is what is driving your sale. I always tell
true.
people to, one of the things I use personally in my life and with the things I do is the 80-20 principle. Which says that 80% of your result comes from 20% of your effort.
Effort here.
Yeah, 80%
Alright,
of
so
your yeah, 80% of your revenue comes from 20% of your customer. 80% of your uh, result come from 20% of your employee. So that's like is the rule, right? And I
yeah.
try to sometimes they call it Matthew principle. The Matthew principle was like, oh, they're gonna take from the people that don't have and give to the people that have and all those kind of things. So it's crazy because people don't look at these things and say, come, okay, I'm selling a whole lot of these things. I'm selling kaftan, I'm selling buba, I'm selling ashawoke, I'm selling this variant of dresses, this variant of
Yeah.
type attire to Nigerians in diaspora. But which type, which part, which variant is giving me the most revenue?
Mm.
How, how can I niche down on this particular variant? I'm not saying others does not matter. No. But when you start showing them this thing, they'll be like, nah, this is what I've been doing since. The point is, what you have been doing since is not what will teleport you to the next level.
Absolutely.
It's not.
Absolutely.
That to be a new strategy, a new thing you're not used to. You're not used to doing. It sometimes also it means you stopping some things. I was discussing the other day. I said most time in our life we always focus on adding. What can I do
Mm.
next? What can I do next? Sometimes all we need to do is remove. Get a,
Yeah. What do I do less?
hmm, that's the
What
question.
what what should
When we
I what should I do more?
yeah, what can we do? Social media manager, what can we do? Sometimes it's about social media manager. What can we stop doing?
Hmm.
Yeah, look at
That's right.
social media manager. Go look at your content. Analyze the last 200 posts you made and come up with the ones that give us our most result. The 20 that is giving us 80%.
Mm.
Then let's stop doing the rest. Digital marketer, what's up? Okay, what should we stop doing? Content marketer, okay, what emails should we stop sending? Sometimes it's not about uh,
What next to do?
what else should we add. Sometimes it's about
Mm.
okay,
That's
come. It's the end of the year. What are the things? What are the things we did this year? Yeah, which one should we remove? Which one should we not do? Next year.
mm.
Personal life says sometimes we have to look at it like, okay, what are the habits that are impeding my growth, that distracting me? What are those habits? What are those habits? So I need to remove.
Very
And
key.
that will take me to personnel, because if 20% of your employee drives you 80% of your revenue,
Yeah.
you take care of that 20%. But I do not think they prioritize Nigerians abroad. Of course, I tell my mentee, when the Nigerian abroad hires you, you are being hired primarily because you're a cheap labor, not because you're of quality. That's the primary.
That's true. That's true. Yeah, and to be honest, the problem that's you know
Yeah,
it's,
the problem, because if you hire somebody uh, and the mentality is, I'm hiring this person because this person is cheap, it's good for business. Yeah, but do you actually expect top quality work from that person?
mm,
If all of us know, for example, I always tell people, if you have whatever you have in your life, say a laptop, a phone, or something like that,
yeah,
and they come to you like, if I give you $1 million tomorrow, which laptop are you going to buy? You're going to tell them straight up, like you have it in mind.
definitely,
If I got
absolutely,
money, if I got money, I'm going to buy this.
yeah,
Same as phones and all. We have things that we are looking to, we are looking at. That's
yeah,
same for these guys that you are employing too. They have
yeah.
dreams, they have things they
They
are
have
looking
ambition.
to.
Yeah,
Yes, and if you cannot find a way to link their dreams and ambition and their own personal welfare into your own, you just see that you be in the hiring loop every 3 months. You hire the goal, you hire the goal, you hire the goal, which will not help your business grow better.
no, it wouldn't. It wouldn't.
Which will not help your business grow better. So let's talk about supply chain. I believe it is one of these things I've observed that is really crashing a lot of African businesses abroad, not even Nigeria, because I consulted for a Ghanaian client and I saw the same thing.
Mm.
The logistic of shipping fresh Ghana yam from Ghana to US to Canada and co. So supply chain. I don't know what you have to say about
Mm.
supply chain. I know you're currently running your MBA too, so maybe you have something to discuss, because I believe supply having products to be available continually is very, very important. Very, very important.
Yeah,
So
it
I don't know what
is.
you have
It is.
to say about supply chain.
Yeah. So to be honest, it's sup, supply chain, management, and procurement basically, because getting these items from point A to point B, the whole hassle um of custom, the hassle of you bringing yams from Ghana or from Nigeria, and
Mm,
you know by the time it gets to you, the sport. Yeah. So
yeah.
the truth is, there are certain items that you don't necessarily need to get from Nigeria, right? For example, if there is habanero pepper in Mexico or in Brazil,
Mm,
and you're in the US, you should start thinking of, building networks and, finding suppliers who can actually supply you those same items, because Nigerians consume find the items Nigerians are consuming, you know, and
which is majorly their
that is,
yeah. I said the
yeah,
items
that
Nigeria
is,
are consuming. food, their
Yes,
dressing, their
because
clothing.
not all of them, can be found. Like, of course, there are some that you have to get them from Nigeria, but if you can start, looking at other suppliers from other nations, but a lot of times, because of the whole currency devaluation and the fact that it's a lot cheaper to get stuff in Nigeria, a lot of them just tilt towards, okay, if it's Nigeria or nothing, is Nigerian or nothing, So we have to start forming alliance with other countries, So if there is habanero pepper in Mexico or there's yam in Brazil, except there is a particular type of yam that that has to come from Nigeria, And of course, you can even advise them to. You can even help them. Some of the suppliers, you can tell them, okay, there's this particular type of Nigerian stuff. I would seedling. I would like you to plant on your soil, and help me produce this, because sometimes the seedlings are different. So, and Nigerians in Nigeria will tell you, I prefer a Nigerian palm oil than any other, So, um, some things that that can be done is there has to be some level of partnership, with um, other uh, sectors, especially some other countries that are selling things that we consume as Nigerians.
But
So it's to be
yeah,
honest, it's a very very complex um, conversation.
actually,
I think
supply chain is complex normally. Like people, I wonder how people think it is. It is like a part of the business that they should. Like it's nothing. Like they can just do it alongside. No, it's a whole department. Every retail
it's
businesses.
yeah, it
If
is.
you, I read Walmart now. I read about Walmart and all of these guys. Supply chain is a whole thing.
Yeah, yeah. Honestly, it's something that should be studied, and the unique thing about supply chain is that it's unique, depending on the market, that you're trying to sell to, where you're sourcing your material. Because I'm like Apple now. Apple don't produce their screens. Samsung actually produce are the ones producing these screens for Apple. I don't know if you're aware of that, you know.
Yeah, yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, so there is a lot of, okay, some of the chips they don't get it, those things are sourced, you know. So there is an entire team that is dedicated to. I feel like if you can crack this supply chain and procurement, I feel like it would. You might not see the impact, but when you add, you know, good supply and good marketing, and you have everything. This guy is just a starting point for your business. And let me speak about Nigerians who are in Nigeria and they're trying to sell to to
The other
people
market.
abroad. Yes, people abroad. I think if because um, getting these things out to the US or to the UK is one big problem. If you don't have so much money, just set up a an Amazon account, right? And go use don't do if you have someone in the US, right? Send your items to them, and then when you get another, let them help you ship. They'll help you create a UPS or USPS account, and then they help you ship out your stuff when you get another. But if you don't have anybody in the US, just create um, an Amazon FBA account, and it's pretty easy to do that. One YouTube video, would help you. You know, just ensure that you have the right documents. You know, ensure that your name is on the utility bills that your of the utility bills of the house you're currently staying at, because if you're having those utility issues, Amazon will block your account. you know. So just ensure you have the right documents and send your stuff to Amazon. Amazon can help you keep your stuff, and then when you get another, they'll help you ship it out. You know. So there's no you don't have to use third party, and but a lot of times um Nigerians who are trying to sell abroad as well, like Nigerians who are living in Nigeria, I mean, they don't read. Like, one problem I've noticed is they don't read about you know what what some of the products that are not acceptable. There was a time I wanted to start a business where I would be selling like dried goat meat in the US, and I'd
Mhm.
already made plans, and I was already speaking to the guys who will be trying, and then I just one day I just said, okay, let me study, let me check if this stuff is allowed in the US, and I now checked and now discovered that it's not allowed. It's not allowed. So imagine I'd started sending out stuff, and I started marketing, and I would have been chain management is something that should be studied, right? You know, you should understand the market structure. Like, you should understand the market structure for your business. Understand, okay, for what you are selling now, identify if, okay, is this is it monopoly market? Is it a only how do they call it? Oligopoly, abi?
Oligopoly.
Yeah, is it?
Oligopoly.
So once you understand the market structure, is it a free market? Finally, if it's a free
Mhm.
market, it's easy. The barrier to enter is not so hard. Then look at, okay, look at your suppliers. Like, where do you get your supplies from? Identify where you'd get your supply from, and then figure out logistics. I think once you are able to do that, you're good.
Yeah, you're good. You're good.
I know I've
One,
said a
one
lot.
other thing that, yeah, a lot of very valuable things now, right? I believe everybody listening
Thank
to the
you.
podcast they are drawing a lot of value. Um, One area I would just want to touch on before we start wrapping up is the area of tools. I know you've worked with a lot of tools, a lot of tools, a lot of automations and co. I don't know if you want to talk about automations, then people should learn how to automate a lot of things, social media, your email, your communications. There are a lot of automations that should be done. So I would like to manually do things a lot, and then
Yeah,
they just
and
wear out.
you cannot do e-commerce without automation. That's the first thing I would have to say. Like, you cannot do e-commerce without automation. Um, for example, you're having 400 products, and you cannot even tell when the stocks of your most valuable variants are finished. You know, just can imagine what that can do to your business. So people will be checking, and there was time my last job, one of our most valued products um was not available for 2 months, and nobody was aware. Like, people, the guys, like, were not even aware that it was out of stock for, no, I think for a
Wow.
month, not up to 2 months. Yeah, like, we're not even aware that it was. So we're thinking, okay, was it that people stopped buying the item? It was when we checked and saw that, okay, the 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 price, it was actually on zero. So I had to create an automation that notifies whenever our stock goes below 5. So the warehouse manager gets to, like, see when when an item, goes below
Out of stock.
below five, below five. For some items, once it's 10, he gets an automation, and then they are planning to restock. So automation is key. When imagine, when new leads come, you have to send them at least 5 emails, 4 to 5 emails to warm them up. And that's automation. You can't be
Mhm.
doing that for each customer, that comes in.
I know,
So
right? You cannot.
yeah, so it's good to have automation, as well. It's also good to have, if you're a mid-sized business, if you can afford salespeople, please get salespeople, so that customers can feel like, okay, they're having, when there is this, how do I put it, um contacts, this physical contact, sometimes it helps.
Man,
So a blend
man
of,
contact.
I wouldn't say that you should go towards the automation route. Some people go to the extreme that they do a lot of automation, and uh, they don't have physical contact, and then you just, there was time I was trying to get something from someone, and anytime I just send a message, I feel like a bot would just respond. Like, I was not just feeling it. I really wanted to engage with, someone, but
Somebody.
it just felt like it was just a bot that was replying me for over 5 minutes. I just left. So, um, automation is key. Like, automation is key. In fact, I can even talk about a few automations that you can do. I don't know if we would have the time to talk about a few automations for
Go ahead.
e-commerce brands.
Let's go ahead.
As you go ahead.
Just shoot.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So automations, for e-commerce brands. Sorry. So for me, the number one automation I feel like you should have is your inventory automation, like the one I just mentioned. Um, where you
Mm-hmm.
get to where you get to um, automate whenever your stock is not available. And um,
Yeah.
if you're using Zapier or any of these tools, I can send you the prompts, because if you're using Publi or Zapier for automation, I can send you the prompts. That's if you reach out, I can send that. Order management automation is also key. So, like, when somebody buys, you sending them a confirmation email is one of the automation you should have, as a business.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also, um, order tracking automation as well. You have to find a way to integrate, your logistics providers. Always update customers in real time. When you want to, um, when they buy stuff from you, not that they will have to, they have to be uh, to be calling you. I don't even know. Calling you after 2 days, they can see when your.
Products where they get to and all of that.
Yes, 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 yes. And also, customer service automation. You should also have customer service automation. You know, right now there are chatbots, that you can use to just come up with, frequently asked questions, and you know, and your AI powered bots, will just answer. And of course, you can still have your, especially when there are customized issues, so that I can help you
Mm-hmm.
depending on the volume of the your customers, of people that reach out, So, and also customer supporting tickets. So, um, I create a always create an automation. That, for example, there is a case. You know, um, create a form create a form. Where people can just enter their order number. Enter the issue that they are facing, and then once they click submit, automatically, the one of the support persons gets an email and a ticket is created automatically. So the customer support person just has to go there and just click the issue and then solve the problem. So customer supporting ticketing, is one automation that you should have as an e-commerce business. And also, of course, marketing automation. You need to have email marketing automation. You have to set up workflows, for different customer segments. Like having like welcome series for new subscribers. Cart abandonment. When a customer abandons a cart, you send them an email. When there is a purchase, you send the follow up. When there is a post purchase, rather, you send follow ups and all of that. I should also have yeah, loyalty program automation, where you automatically enroll customers into your loyalty programs, and reward them with points. There are a lot of, especially when you use tools like Shopify, there are a lot of apps that you can install. There are a lot of apps you can install to, to recommend, to bring customers into your loyalty programs, and then give them points, so they can use, on their next purchase, right? So, one of the um, automation, I also think, there are many. One of the
Yeah.
automations I think you should have also is forecasting demand automation. Where you use data analytics tools to forecast your
So,
inventory, to forecast your inventory needs, and automate ordering, especially for some of the popular and the popular or sensational items that your customers demand, right? So I think at some point you were doing this cohort analysis, and you had, those things, when and I think Shopify has all of these too. That's why it's good to that's why it's good
a lot
to
of plug.
they have a lot of plugins. So there are countless automations, but I think these are the major ones that I would advise you to have, like, immediately.
Yeah, thank you, Nenji. You've like
You're,
given a lot
you're
of
welcome.
valuable tips in this particular podcast
Thank you so
episode.
much. Yeah.
Yeah, I while we draw the curtain, I've learned a lot today myself, and I know that people that will listen to this also learn some things. But I don't know
Yeah.
what you want to what you want to leave us with.
Yeah. So I have this favorite, quote. I can't remember where I I heard it, but for me, it has always kept me going, and it is this: it is better to try and fail than not to try at all. Like, it's better for you to try stuff, For example, selling to you're in Nigeria, and a lot of people do not um do not have the mindset of possibility of things happening, but we need to have that mindset that when we try stuff, it can work, and it might not work. It's better to try and it does not work than for you not to try at all, because when you don't try, you not even know if it could work or not. So for me, it's better to try and fail than not to try at all. So that's what I have to say.
Thank you, Nenji. So
You're welcome.
I'm going to ask you some this or that question, and you just give me an answer straight up. Yeah, are you ready?
Yes, I am. I am.
Okay, let's
But
go.
I just hope that it's not very trickish.
Why not? Just direct questions. You just have to pick
Yeah.
one of them. So, big commerce or Shopify,
Shopify.
Google Ads or Facebook Ads,
Well, Google Ads.
UK market or US market,
US markets.
Apple or Android,
Apple for life.
HubSpot or Klaviyo,
This one is well. I love HubSpot. I love HubSpot, but I'll go with Klaviyo because for my I'll go with Klaviyo.
All right. Then the final one I'm going to ask you is this: Jacob or Job?
Jacob in the Bible
Yes.
or Job?
Or,
Hmm.
you have to pick one.
Jacob or Job? I think I'll go with Job. I'll go with Job.
All right, all right, all right.
Yeah, I would.
Thank you. I just like to ask first question. You did well. I just like to
Yeah.
go somewhere. You know, you're a Christian, and that's why I just pick one biblical question to ask. So thank you. Thank you for coming to the show. Then thank
Yeah, I'm
you.
happy to be here.
If you have something to say to us, drop in the comments. If you want to reach out to Nenji, drop it in the comments. Of course, it's going to be in the comments as well to check out for you guys. If you want to reach out to Nenji, is very good. They help consult for brands that want to sell to the UK market, the US market, and all sort of things. So, of course, reach out to him. And then, cheers. See you some other time.
Thank you so much. I'm happy to be here.